Hey Carl, I really enjoyed watching your video on the rear elevated split squat. The only thing, and I did this with another post too for my peer response, is sometimes that movement can be difficult for somebody who doesn't have the balance or doesn't have the strength. And so I thought about like what could I suggest as an alternate that would give that same feel of the elevated split squat, but for somebody who might not be quite ready to do that movement. And so I thought about the single leg Romanian deadlift, and I would recommend it without weight at first because it's a really kind of complicated as far as making sure you get the correct technique down. And so I would just have the individual, if this was one that I was using as an alternate, I would just have them focus on the movement and gaining that balance before you add weight to it. So when I demonstrate it, I'm not going to have any weight, but if somebody wants to use a light kettlebell, I'll point out what that would look like, and I'll keep the same form like I would if they had a weight in hand. So half and triplet went through a single leg Romanian deadlift, and then I found a video too on YouTube by this guy named Coach Nestler. He was done in 2017. But he really talked about common errors and how it's a really great movement, but when it's done incorrectly, it's no longer great for us, like any other movement that has improper biomechanics. So both of those sources are what I used for explaining these instructions and coaching cues. So I'll just go through that and then I'll demonstrate it behind here. So to begin, sorry that fell. To begin, we want to choose a support leg. So whatever leg we're going to balance on essentially, and make sure that our hips and our shoulders are over that foot. So whatever leg we decide to use as our balancer, make sure hips and shoulders are in line with it. And then if you're holding a weight, that's when you extend that elbow. You can either do alternate, or you can use the same arm, same support leg. It's really up to you. And then what we do is hold that weight, if you have it, in front of that support leg, and then you will have the elbow fully flexed. And that's really the beginning of this, is to then flex that torso forward at the hip. So we're keeping everything, our elbows extended. You should have a slight, the knee should be slightly flexed on that support leg. We don't want to lock it out, and that's where that first coaching cue comes in. Is a common mistake that Coach Nestler said was sometimes individuals lock that support leg in order to help with range of motion, and it should really be slightly flexed. But our elbow, with or without the weight, should be flexed or extended as well, locked out, okay? And then when that person begins to flex their torso forward with the hip, the next coaching cue is don't let that hip open up. So a lot of times, in order for somebody to feel like they're getting a better range of motion, they open their hips out and open them up, and really everything should be staying in line and not shifting to open up, okay? And then you keep your shoulders, your hips, your knee, your ankle all in line, and then keep a neutral spine. And this entire time, your elbow of the arm that has the kettlebell in it should be fully flexed. And then you lower until you're parallel or as close to the end range of motion for an individual. I know, like myself, I don't have that great a range of motion when it comes to this movement, while others, can hit parallel with great technique quite easily. So really, it's up to the discretion of the strength and conditioning coach and the athlete as well. So lowered parallel or close to, you're extending the hip of the support leg to return back to that starting position. Again, keeping everything in line, neutral spine. And then the last coaching cue is do not hyperextend the torso or flex that elbow. I know I said keep your elbow extended throughout the entire movement, but those are two common improper biomechanics, that hyperextended torso, and then that flex elbow. So I'll go ahead and demonstrate it now, and I'll do it so you can see it from the side profile, okay? So my balance is better on my right, my dominant leg, so I'm gonna use that one to demonstrate this. That's gonna be my support leg, slightly flex it, and then if I had a kettlebell, my elbow is fully extended, the kettlebell will be right here as I lift and keep my hips in line and then return, okay? Again, thanks, Carl. I really enjoyed watching your video, and then I'll do the write-up for the rest of the discussion points that are in this response post. But thanks.